There's a car sitting in a dealership right now with a $45,000 price tag, heated seats, a 12-speaker sound system, and a turbocharger the size of your fist. In 4 years, it'll need an $8,000 gearbox, and the mechanic who services it already knows that. He's just not going to be the one to tell you. Because here's the thing, nobody in the car industry wants to say out loud. The cars that actually last aren't the ones on the billboards. They're the ones sitting quietly in workshop car parks, getting a service every 12 months and nothing else, ever. I spent weeks going through repair bay records, reliability data, and servicing histories from across the country. And 6 cars kept coming up again and again as the ones that just don't die. Not the flashiest, not the newest, but the ones mechanics buy for their own mum and dad. Stick around, because car number 3 on this list is the one that gets mocked online constantly. And it's also the one that keeps outliving everything parked next to it. Why new stopped meaning reliable? For most of your driving life, there was a simple rule: newer car, safer car, better car. That rule is starting to fall apart. And it's happening faster than most people over 50 have noticed. Modern cars are drowning in complexity. Touchscreens have replaced buttons. Tiny turbocharged engines have replaced simple ones, mostly to hit emissions targets rather than to survive 20 Australian summers. And every one of those clever additions, every sensor, every software module, every downsized engine working twice as hard, is one more thing that can fail and one more 5-figure invoice waiting to happen. That's the uncomfortable pattern Car Expert flagged in its 2026 buying guide. The market has filled up with tech-heavy vehicles that are brilliant in the showroom and expensive the moment the warranty runs out. Complexity is the enemy of longevity. Full stop. And that single idea explains everything about the 6 cars on this list. None of them are trying to impress you. They're all just trying to still be running in 2040. The one every mechanic already knows about. If you ask 10 different mechanics in 10 different states to name one car they'd never worry about, most of them would say the same word before you even finish the sentence: Corolla. It's not exciting. Nobody's ever pointed at a Corolla in a car park and felt their pulse quicken. But according to Cars24's 2026 Australian Reliability Review, that's precisely the point. It's still considered one of the most dependable cars on our roads, built around a simple mechanical layout that any mechanic in the country can service without ordering in specialist parts. And that's the detail people miss. It's not just that the Corolla rarely breaks down. It's that when something eventually does go wrong, the fix is cheap, fast, and boring, because every workshop from Cairns to Hobart has already fixed 100 of them. Decades of enormous sales volume mean spare parts are everywhere, and servicing stays affordable well into a Corolla's 2nd, even 3rd decade on the road. If your goal is to buy a car once and never think about it again, this is where that story starts. The hybrid everyone's scared of and shouldn't be. Now here's where it gets genuinely surprising, because the next car sounds like it should be the risky one. Step up a size from the Corolla and you land on the Toyota Camry, and specifically its hybrid version. For years, retirees have quietly avoided hybrids for one reason: the battery. The fear that one day it'll just die and cost more to replace than the car is worth. That fear turns out to be almost entirely outdated. The same 2026 Cars 24 analysis found the hybrid Camry has shown genuinely strong long-term dependability, with fleet operators and everyday families reporting smooth, trouble-free performance. Even in high-mileage, older cars running on nothing more than basic servicing. Think about where Camry hybrids actually spend most of their lives: as taxis. Hundreds of thousands of kilometers, stop-start city driving, minimal pampering, and still running. That's not a marketing claim. That's just what happens when a battery has already survived a decade of getting flogged for a living. For anyone planning long country drives to see the grandkids, or a proper grey nomad lap of the coast, that's the kind of evidence that actually means something. The one people test drive by accident. Car number 3 is the one I mentioned at the start, the one that gets underestimated constantly, right up until someone actually drives it. The Mazda 3 doesn't shout. It doesn't need to. Cars24's most recent reliability rankings placed it just a step below the Corolla for long-term dependability, but with something the Corolla doesn't have: a noticeably more refined, more comfortable feel behind the wheel. It's the car people go into just look at, planning to buy something else entirely, and walk out having ordered one. Solid build quality, predictable, long-term performance and a driving feel that punches above its price tag, without the running costs of an actual luxury badge. If you want something that feels a little special, without secretly bankrupting you every time it needs a service, this is the quiet achiever nobody warned you about. The Korean car that rewrote the rules. Here's where the story takes a turn a lot of older Australians still haven't caught up with. A decade ago, a Korean-built car next to a Corolla or a Civic would have been the compromise choice. Cheaper, sure, but you'd pay for it in reliability. That's simply not true anymore, and the Hyundai i30 is the proof. Carban Australia's 2026 longevity report names the i30 a firm favourite, specifically because it delivers modern safety features and real day-to-day comfort, at a price well below its Japanese rivals, while still holding up mechanically over the long haul. For anyone living on a fixed income, that gap matters more than people realise. We're talking thousands of dollars difference up front compared to a similarly equipped Corolla, without giving up the low running costs that make ownership genuinely stress-free. Reliability and affordability used to be opposites. Somewhere in the last 10 years, quietly, that stopped being true, and most buyers still haven't gotten the memo. The SUV built for the life you're actually living now. Car number 5 moves things up, quite literally, because a lot of Australians are trading their sedans in for something with a higher seat and an easier climb in and out of the vehicle. The Kia Sportage has become one of the most reliable, best value SUVs in the country. According to Cars24's Australian reliability data, backed by an unusually long warranty and build quality solid enough to keep costs low well after that warranty period ends. If getting in and out of a low sedan has started to feel like more effort than it used to, or you need to fold the seats down for a walking frame, a wheelchair, or just the golf clubs, you have the space. The Sportage gives you that practical ownership experience, without the nightmare servicing bills that plague a lot of larger, tech-heavy SUVs currently on the market. The car that divides opinion and keeps winning anyway. And here is the one I promised you earlier. The car that gets mocked in online comment sections constantly, argued about in every car forum in the country, and somehow keeps appearing in reliability data anyway. The Honda Civic is our next quiet achiever. Car Expert's 2026 industry analysis is blunt about it. Honda's engineering remains genuinely dependable, even while the brand has lost some ground with younger buyers chasing flashier alternatives. What the data actually shows is an engine and transmission combination that keeps running long after showier rivals have already needed expensive gearbox or turbo repairs. For anyone who remembers exactly when Honda first earned its reputation in this country, decades ago, buying one today doesn't feel like a gamble. It feels like coming home to something that never once let you down. What all 6 have in common for owners today? None of this is a coincidence, and it's definitely not just brand loyalty talking. Every single one of these 6 cars made the same quiet decision. Simplicity over spectacle, proven engineering over the latest gimmick, and cheap, widely available parts over exclusivity. That decision is exactly what protects your bank account during the years that actually matter. The years after the warranty has expired on the open road, when the only thing standing between you and a 5-figure repair bill is an engineering choice someone made before the car ever left the factory. And as new car prices keep climbing in the current market, and dealership servicing costs keep rising faster than inflation through 2025 and into 2026, that decision has never been worth more for Australian buyers. The real lesson for every car owner. Here's the truth: most people only learn the hard way. You don't find out which car actually holds up until years after you've bought the wrong one. These 6 cars represent something you can't fake: real-world durability. Millions of kilometres, thousands of owners, years of servicing records, all pointing at the same conclusion for our long-term analysis. Reliability was never about how advanced a car feels in the showroom on day one. It's about what happens 5, 10, 15 years later on the road, when the badge stops mattering and the only thing left is whether the thing starts. If you're choosing your next car with your retirement savings in mind, That's the only question worth asking for every Australian driver. And now you already know exactly where to look for your next quiet achiever.